Good morning. I have no excuse because our girl Emily Noel is up like 5 every day before the kids are up to get her videos in, so I can do this at 6:47 a.m. Today is a double whammy, so to speak. We're doing a wear test of the Makeup Revolution foundation stick as well as another eye look using my usual prepped lid setup with the new Fenty Beauty Moroccan Spice palette. I will start with the foundation application, share my thoughts on it. I have been wearing this a few times and I could already say that I'm in love with this formula. I'll also come back on here later to do a wear test and show you guys how the foundation stayed throughout the day. And then I'll do another eye look using the Moroccan Spice palette, but instead of using their eye primer, I will set my lids with concealer and powder it down before blending. Let's not waste any more time and get to it. Here it is, the Makeup Revolution foundation stick. The official name of this is the Fast Base Foundation Stick. I have the shade F12. And according to the website, is for medium dark skin tones with a neutral undertone. This retails for $9. I'm looking at the description and also on the actual packaging, and I, for the life of me, cannot find the ounces or the milliliters listed on here. I don't know why they're not sharing that information. Well, if you guys know how much product is in here, please sound off below. I would love to know. Makeup Revolution is just notorious for releasing several palettes, makeup items that are basically direct copies of a lot of our popular products that we see from our more expensive brand sisters. I feel this is in the safe zone because everyone is allowed to make a foundation stick, and for the price I think it is well worth the try. Again, I'm gonna shut up and just apply this baby and you will see for yourself. Here is the shade and I will swatch this for you. If you want to see a full-on swatch comparison of all the foundation sticks, or mostly that I own that I'm currently using, I will link that video up above and down below along with the timestamp so you could go directly to that portion. This is a good day to test this baby on because it is probably the hottest day out of our heat wave that we are having today in NYC. And it's not just the temperature, it's the humidity. It's going to be high. This foundation comes in 18 shades in a range of undertones, and it quickly perfects contours and highlights your complexion. The easy to apply stick formula melts into skin, blending seamlessly to leave a fresh and dewy finish. Okay, we're dealing with the dewier finish than we have with the Maybelline Superstay foundation stick. And that is true, but I really love the texture of how it blends. So I'm taking my GOSS #1 foundation brush from his 2nd anniversary set. I'm going to start working that in. Oh, and the eyebrows are already done. Try to be very proactive here. Here it is blended out with one application. I love it. I look very dewy. It's definitely dewy, and if you are oily and you still want to try it, I would highly recommend that. Maybe I also forgot to put on a primer because I knew I might have needed it on my nose and T-zone area. If you are oily, I would definitely have to powder, or recommend that you powder down after applying this foundation. I particularly love how it just blends into the skin, and they were right, it blends like butter. It leaves a really nice texture. Here's a close-up of how it looks, and although my acne scars have been getting significantly lighter, which thank God, I feel it covers very well, and just with one application. If I wanted, I could go in again and just kind of dot it where I need it. And I'll just take a smaller kabuki brush and work that product in. Love how it looks on my nose as well. I know it's not ideal in terms of formula because my nose gets very oily, and today it's gonna be very oily. I really love the finish though. I definitely will powder down, but I just wanted you to see the texture of this foundation because I particularly love how it blends. Keeping it in the fam, going in with the Conceal Define concealer in C10. I was watching Tara Babies last night and she finally got her hands on this, and at the time when this first released, it was immediately compared to the Shape Tape from Tarte, And I don't remember what I said in my video that when I did first review this. I will link that video down below as well. That although it's a beautiful concealer, I think the finish is really nice. It doesn't have the same coverage as Shape Tape does. And because we canceled Shape Tape because of their horrendous foundation line launch, I think Tara had a good point. It's nice, but it definitely doesn't have the same coverage as Shape Tape does. Which could be a good and bad thing, right? If you have very dry under eyes, I think this actually will fare out better, because although the coverage is not as punchy as the Shape Tape, the texture I think is a lot more forgiving, and it's not going to grab onto those dry patches and those fine lines that happen here on this part of your face. But I think it's particularly luminous under the eyes, and again, I think a lot more hydrating than Shape Tape. I'm taking my Hourglass Veil. Oh, hold on. Wait. You can have a see of how the concealer applies on the foundation. What do you guys think of the texture? I think it's really nice. I mean, it's dewy AF for sure. And if you're not into dewy, then I don't know if this will be for you. Some Hourglass Veil Translucent going in with my Luxie 520, a big fluffy brush. Make sure they're everything blended. With the rest of my face, I'm going in with the Dermablend Professional Loose Setting Powder in Cool Beige. I like the Cool Beige all over my face because it sets the makeup but doesn't make me feel heavy. And I don't know, the Cool Beige tint I feel works in tandem with the neutral undertone from several foundations that I use. Even the warmer ones, it doesn't disrupt the color. It sets it well without being aggressively cool or gray looking. I want to make sure I powder well because again, today is like a day of humidity and high temperature. Like, there are warnings on the news. Stay in the AC, drink lots of water. If you can, stay indoors. I'm like, I need to work. Sorry. Here we're looking at freshly powdered down Fast Base foundation stick from Makeup Revolution. Let's continue on. I will now apply my Anastasia Beverly Hills Rich Amber Bronzer, which I've been currently loving recently. I don't know, I really love how it looks on camera. It is designed with a more olive undertone, so maybe I guess that's why I like it. The light washes me out a lot, and I get it. It's like I almost need a filter when filming in front of my window, because I promise you in real life I'm not this light. I promise you. And every time I see my thumbnails I'm like, oh god. Going in with the Fenty Beauty Killawatt highlighter duo in Mean Money and Hustla, baby. Oh, you know what time it is. Prepping my lids with my Laura Mercier. Boop, 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 boop. I know I applied powder on my lids. Oh, maybe a little too close. Hold on. That's better. I applied powder on my lids, but I found that when doing this, it's not a huge deal. I'm gonna carefully blend that in. I actually put concealer in when I was blending it under my eyes. I just wanted a little more. Setting particularly the crease area and my eyebrows so the pencil doesn't move, and this area will allow for smoother blending. Alright friends, now going in with the Moroccan Spice palette. You want to see my full review on this with swatches and everything else, I will link that video up above and down below. First we'll go in with Come and Get It on a Wayne number 3. Start applying this to my crease. I don't know if you could tell from the last time that this just looks a lot smoother, and you're able to see the color better as well because my lids naturally have a red tint to them, and when I applied this color the first time it was just kind of hard to see its true saturation. Maybe I want to do a half and half because I want to try that matte gray shade. I feel like maybe I'll put that on my lower lash line today. Here is Come and Get It on concealer and powdered lids. I think it fares off a lot better, and perhaps the way I can use their primer is if I were to just apply one shade all over, one of the metallic shades for instance, blend it out, and call it a day. But with the matte shades, I much rather do this on concealer and powder. I think I'll go in with Fezz Up next. I definitely want to go in with Hennessy. So fun. Smith 235. I'm going to start on the outer corner. Oh, that's already adding a lot of depth. Oh my god. I'm going to put that onto the inner third as well. And the reason I didn't powder down the eye primer before my first video is because I wanted to truly experience it, how it's supposed to be used without powdering, because the instructions didn't say to do so. Also, it's not going to tackle the discoloration that occurs on my lids, and I think that plays a huge role in how these shadows look in the end. Here is the dark brown shade in the palette. In pictures, it looks a lot warmer. I did apply this yesterday, and it's gonna be hard for it to show up because Fezz Up is already, it's like already intense on its own. I'm using my Morphe M514 with Hennessy. Just so you can see, I feel it adds nice intensity, like on the low. It blends well with the shades in here. It's not gonna look muddy. It's just gonna stay within that very plummy type of smoky family. I'm sure it will show up truer to its color if I were just to apply it on Come and Get It. I like how this works with these shadows. Taking my Smith again and further smoothing out these edges. Taking my number 3 and just blurring out here on this portion. I'll also take Hennessy to the inner portion as well. How we looking, friends? I really love these shades. I think they're just so dark and smoky, but not typical black or super dark brown. I understand that Hennessy is considered a cocoa brown matte in the shade descriptions, but I just love how it combines with Fezz Up, and even if we were to spice it up the other purpley plummy shade, I like it. My Luxie 231, and now with Shisha Smoke. I'm going to place that on my lower lash line just to see how that shows up and what it does. Ooh, I like that. I like that. In the pan, it looks like a very light gray. But when you blend this into your skin, it's a nice charcoal gray. Oh, I got a little crazy there. Hold on. I like it a lot. Ooh, this palette just gained 20 bonus points. And even with powdered down lids, I'm not experiencing any fallout on my face. I think let's go bronze on the list today, friends. And with that, this is now Desert Bake time. I could cut the lid. I'm a little short on time, but also I'm lazy. My Smith 253, just right in the center. Oh yeah. Oh, that's nice. You know what this reminds me of? This reminds me of Vegas Past from 27 Mel Cosmetics. It's like the exact same color, except I feel this is a better formula. And here's Vegas Past from Melt. I just feel like Moroccan Spice Desert Bake just applies a lot smoother. Like, you see how when I swatched Vegas Past, it just like skipped? It just looks like it has a lot more saturation and is a lot more smoother than 27. Let's go in with the wet brush. Oh yeah. Got it. Noted. Making sure to go back to blend the edges. Oh, I love Desert Baked. Oh yeah, man. Oh yeah. I did try to apply this shade on my lid yesterday, and I found that it serves better as a topper. I might have to go in, or might have had to go in with glitter glue because it did not stick well to my concealer, which is fine. I think, for instance, if you just want to see, I'll take this on my finger and maybe just pop it right onto the base of Desert Baked. And see, that's nice. It just gave it a little more pop, a little more glitter, because I feel this is the glitter shade in the palette. And it adds nice dimension to it too. So that was a good idea. Alright, I think this is a great glitter topper shade in the palette, and it blends and combines well with the other metallic shades in here, the warm ones at least. I will take that on my pinky, and I'm just gonna stamp it right in the center of my lower lash line, as I like to do with a lot of my halo eyes. Ooh. Going in with Burt's Bees blush in the shade, what is this? Bare Peach. Setting first before I apply mascara to my lower lashes. I also like to go in with a sponge or a brush and just kind of punch in the leftover moisture. Ooh, we gotta apply inner corner highlight. Do this baby. Marrakush Rihanna with a pencil brush, because this is a very, very metallic shadow. And I wanna, you see what I mean? You can see it from there. That's what I'm saying. Love. I've been really liking the Kate and Rimmel London Nude series. This is in shade 43. I don't like how it has like a weird taste to it, bordering on like medicinal candy. Oh, how I explain it. I like to do the outer portions with my Urban Decay Kristen Leanne, and then I go in with the Rimmel London Kate. I think that's a nice nude combination. Some Cork from MAC, Colourpop's Ultra Glossy Lip in Fantasia. And we're done. You like it? I definitely think these mattes fare off better on a powdered lid, or at least a concealed one, because I feel when I apply these shades to my eyelid with just the primer, I felt it was hard for me to see the colors of the palette, because my eyes are already so red that this time I actually saw what Fez Up looked like and Hennessy looked like and Kuminget looked like. I cannot wait to use this on my crease. I think that what is it called? The Shisha Smoke. It's a beautiful gray shade and different, right? Because I would never have thought to or think that I would like it just based on how it looks in the pan, because it looks like a cool type of gray that wouldn't show up smoky at all, but it kind of does. And I'm sure if we were to combine this with Spice It Up, like, it will make a beautiful combo on the eyes. Or that just all over crease, lid, and lower lash line. We gotta come back on here, friends, and do it! So, part one is done. The eyes are done, and of course, that is the end of this portion of the video. If you just wanted to see how these mattes blended on concealed and powdered lids. And before signing off, I just wanted to apologize for relaying the wrong information about the Galaxy holiday palette launch. When I went on the website, I saw that Laura had posted about the collection, and it said Galaxy holiday collection drops today, and I saw it says November 28th or whatever it said. I was like, oh, okay, November 28th. And then I went to Fenty Beauty's feed, just going down their feed to see the Galaxy swatches, because my curiosity was piqued again. And then it said October 3rd. And I'm like, come on. Of course, I already uploaded my video, and I just wanted to apologize for that wrong information. But the Galaxy palette did originally launch on October 3rd, not in November. I hope you like the eye look. Let me know down below. I'll come back on here, and right now it is 7:33. Hold on. 7:34 a.m. That said, foundation's on. We tried another eye look. Gonna come back on here after a day of classes, hot weather, a humidityness, and I'll see you then. And we're back. See how this makeup looks. And why not checking out how the eyeshadow held up as well. You'll see here, as usual, makeup no longer on my nose. I do really love how it held up on the rest of my face, and I'm taking a mirror here so I can see. My skin still looks smooth. It doesn't look textured. This side looks bomb. Unfortunately, because I have a lot more scarring here, there's a lot more dead skin that unfortunately the makeup latches onto, and throughout the day it tends to look a little more like patchy. But it's all good, because for the most part I really love how my skin again looks smooth. It doesn't look textured or cakey. Here's a close-up of this side, which I think is my better side. It has the least amount of acne scars. And here is this side, but you see here that these patchy spots just tend to cling onto the makeup and not make it look as smooth, which is okay. For being 95 degrees and 1000% humidity, I think this cream makeup fared off pretty well. And also the fact that it's a dewy finish and not a matte one. The staying power I am very impressed by. And when I touch my skin, it does have a little bit of creaminess to it, and I definitely could have touched up more during the day at some point earlier because I had to film some stuff for my Instagram stories that I just powdered here and a little bit here because I feel this area could get a little separated and break apart on my chin, and I just pressed with powder to smooth it out a little bit more. My forehead is very, very shiny, but it doesn't look super cakey, and I think the key to using the Makeup Revolution Fast Base Stick is to not use a whole lot. I use a lot because I'm excessive. I think if you just use enough to even out your skin tone and to tackle any blemishes and dark spots, any hyperpigmentation, you'd be good to go. I probably could have pulled off less makeup, but I just kind of slapped it on early this morning, and I still think it blended in pretty well. And I like how it doesn't look like it's sitting on my skin. My skin looks like itself. It's not overly made up. It might have looked over, or may look a little, just a touch overly made up here on this area of my face, and probably because of the highlighter, and this is where I look the most porous. Other than that though, I'm pretty impressed with the fact that this dewy stick stayed on for as long as it did, didn't melt off. It's hot today, and my skin looks pretty good. And I think the eye makeup looks pretty good as well, friends. Glitter specks I feel stayed on for the most part. The mattes might have lost just a touch of saturation throughout the day, but I still think it looks pretty smoky even after the 7-8 hour mark. The gray, the shisha smoke kind of dropped to my inner corner a little bit and might have given me dark under eye circles, but it's cool. Next time I'll just powder there more, maybe bake just here so the eyeshadow doesn't transfer. I guess the question is, do I like the Makeup Revolution stick better, or do I like the Maybelline Superstay better? I feel the Maybelline is more of a soft matte finish, although this was remarkable in staying on my skin for as long as it did. Even though it's not a matte foundation, I do really love how the fast base blends into my skin, and the fact that it's only $9, and I do think that the coverage is just a little more, it just leans a little more towards the fuller side of the spectrum than the Superstay does. What do you think from this video to the Superstay video? What do we think about the staying power and how the texture of my skin looks? I do think this provides more coverage. The Makeup Revolution provides more coverage, and the coverage stays more intact throughout the day. I'm looking on this side of my face, and maybe we can kind of decipher if this actually yields more coverage and much longer lasting. Well, I'm definitely happy with the Moroccan Spice palette and the longevity there. We applied this shadow like 7:30 in the morning, and it's now 4:46. It's not bad. I felt I could have gone in a lot more and kicked up the intensity. It's all good though. I just wanted to try out some of the other eyeshadows to see how they blended, especially now on concealed powdered lids. Let me know down below what you think, whether it's about the Moroccan Spice palette or the Makeup Revolution Fast Base Foundation Stick. If you own the Makeup Revolution Foundation Stick, what your thoughts are on it. Have you used it? Are you thinking about it? All those details. Any questions you might have for me, let me know down below. I'll be more than happy to answer them. And of course, if there are any other foundation sticks or liquids or what have you that you highly recommend that I should try, then please let me know down below. And that, my friends, is a wrap. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope this video helped. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. And until then, I'll see you on here again with another review, wear test, get ready with me, or chit chat. Take care and I'll see you again soon.